You are under CCTV surveillance, or you are under the camera. This is a notice we increasingly encounter today almost everywhere, in institutions, offices, public places, almost everywhere. They are all scanned by CCTV cameras. The purpose is clear: capture every moment, identify mischief, trace mishaps, and maybe deter harmful actions. Though CCTV is a modern technological marvel, humanity has had its own human version of surveillance long before its invention, and today's gospel offers proof of this. The Pharisees and the scribes acted as the human CCTV of their time. In the gospel, we see Jesus and his disciples under their watchful gaze. As they walked through a grain field on the Sabbath, the disciples, feeling hungry, plucked some heads of grain. And this act was fully permissible under God's law, as stated in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 25. When you enter your neighbor's standing grain, it says, you may pluck the heads with your hand, but you shall not put a sickle to it. However, Jewish traditions had added layers upon layer of restrictive rules to the Sabbath law. These traditions were meticulously recorded in Talmud, which contains 24 chapters of the Sabbath laws. And some of these rules were astonishingly rigid. No burden, for example, heavier than a dried fig could be carried on a Sabbath day. And a tailor wouldn't carry and wouldn't hold a needle, nor clothing examined lest a louse be killed accidentally. Lighting or extinguishing candles were prohibited. Buying or selling or even bathing were forbidden. And women couldn't wear jewelry heavier than a dried fig. These man-made rules made Sabbath oppressive and unkind. The Pharisees, the self-appointed enforcers of these laws, acted like the CCTV cameras, closely watching others and Jesus, and especially Jesus and his disciples, to catch them breaking the Sabbath traditions. Ironically, their zeal to find fault in the Pharisees themselves broke probably the Sabbath laws. By following Jesus and his disciples, they probably walked further than the allowed distance. Yet they conveniently overlooked their own transgressions while accusing others. And this reveals a deeper issue, a hypocritical and judgmental spirit. The Pharisees justified themselves while harshly condemning others. Do we sometimes share this tendency? Are we quick to find fault in others while excusing our shortcomings? Do we magnify weaknesses instead of celebrating strengths? It is human to notice flaws, but divine to accept, to encourage, and to uplift. And Jesus invites us to rise above negativity and judgment. Instead of adopting the Pharisees' mindset, we are called to foster compassion and understanding. Let us not be like human CCTVs focused solely on faults, but instead be people who build, who bless, and inspire. And as we reflect on the gospel today, let us ask for the grace to see others as God sees them, with love, mercy, and hope. And may we choose to criticize less, but to appreciate more, and to help others grow stronger in their journey. And in doing so, we reflect the heart of Jesus, who calls us to be watchful, not for faults of others, but for opportunities to love and to serve.